Good morning, cool cats and kittens. All right, give me a sec, and we'll get to it. Hey guys, sorry here. Let me just get started here. Okay, cool. Couple things to start with. I actually like that the market's bidding down. I really think they're trying to kind of sell it a little bit here. So I actually like that this is bidding down, and we'll see where it goes from here. But I really am digging it. It makes life a little easier here because if they were bidding us up, they're trying to make it frothy and then come in. But the down play is a lot better for me. I prefer it. I think you got a shot at just going right back, but we'll say overall, I can't believe people sold some of these names on earnings today. It's like it's crazy, but fine by me. If we get to some of these key levels, I don't really see that there's a lot more to say or do there. I don't think that these levels really have moved that much. You tried to get up through here, and we knew that that was going to be a big area, and you're kind of rejecting it, but not really. The other thing that I think super important today already, just by looking at this, is these peaks. And so if you take the peak of the Qs, you're sitting right there at that VWAP from the peak. So I do think that that's super important. And then we'd have to see, if that holds or it doesn't hold. I got this mic in the way and everything else on this chart. I'll move the chart in a sec on one of the other monitors. Whenever you're ready, I am. Come on, little guy. You can do it. So the other thing that I would say is you have your point of control right there from that peak on October 30th. And that is showing, that area of contention as well. So you have a lot going on in here. You have your point of control from that peak, and then you have the volume profile. There's a lot there, and you're kind of fighting it. You flipped it overnight, now you're right back down to it. So you really kind of have to watch and see how it acts in that level. I mean, that's a really big area. I would imagine at a minimum, you go back and retest where you closed yesterday, but you don't really have to do that, but I think that I think you might do that today. That's kind of where my head is with it. And so that's the first thing. Second thing to me is we look at this here and just start. I'll click on that, save it. But if I went to here and just looked at the bear, and then let's just start over and remove all that and just drop it here for a sec. So, when you clean it all off, sometimes you can see some other stuff. And that level right here from Friday, I think super interesting as well. And I don't know that you're going to, really break that Friday to, Monday from where you are, right? But I don't know that you're going to, break that. And you're going to want to watch that level. The other thing that you did here, and you guys probably already saw this, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, but you guys probably already saw how you broke the DTL, ran up, retested the back side of it, and then ran again. And I think that's super, super important for us to get. If we look at our levels up in here, it's really tying it all together if you think about it. And now what you're trying to do is see if you're going to get above that 24, right around that 24, 22 level. So I think you have a shot at it. We'll see what the day brings. But overall, I don't think it's that bad. Let's move this over here so I don't keep getting whiplash. And then we'll drop this one in this part of the monitor. Yay. But that's really how I see it. And I do think that that's like super important when you see this kind of stuff, because it tells you that you're probably going to hold. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about these levels. I'm not feeling this. Let's go take a look at something really quickly. Yeah, you're there. So that was your low on Friday. Hit it like a ton of bricks. And if we went and took a look at the up here, you're all the way up here now, man. So they got you all spread out now. Jesus. So you got a lot of room to play in here now versus where you were on Friday. So, they're going out further. So they must either want the exposure or they're concerned. You know, or they're concerned. Where are we right now? 6 there. Yeah, so this goes. I don't know that this is as clean. It doesn't really look it. Yeah, you got more stuff here than you do on the Qs. It's actually a bonus. I don't like how that point of control's there, so you might want to watch that 683 level. Let's go take a look at the ES. Test, test, test. Can't get through, can't get through. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's some stuff here still. And so you kind of want to watch this. You're over. You definitely don't want to break this low, but I don't think you have a shot at that unless you get some news. But you're rejecting in here that whole level again. So you might want to just be, be a little careful. I mean, that's really how I see like the bigger levels on the more shorter time stuff. You're kind of boxed in here. And you still have this massive DTL here that you're just not really. Smaller one here. Hits, rejects, hits over. Now you're riding it. Definitely don't want to break this. Oh, what I would actually going to do is just put a little alert there. I still think they're going to lift you here today. I still am feeling that, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd be super careful off the open, but I'm not as concerned as I was yesterday. I kind of like that they're gapping it down a little bit. I'm not really crazy about them riding that wave. That's a little bit more of a concern of mine than anything. Looking at it this morning. Gold, I have zero interest in, but you knew you were going to get gold players again. You're kind of riding that line and you're holding it. I don't know. I mean, maybe if it hit the 55, I might have been interested, John, but it's not really for me. It's just something I'm interested in. Super interesting how this is acting, isn't it? Well, consumer's supposed to be so bad, yet we've gone from 60 to 128 and off the lows, and you're hitting highs, but the consumer's in trouble. Our consumer doesn't really look like they give a anything. Um, yeah, TPL is super interesting here. Out of all the names you just brought up, TPL is super interesting because of this too. Like, look at Lambridge. So, Lambridge and TPL, both of them. So maybe people are finally figuring out that they're going to put data centers there, or maybe they're figuring out they're finally going to put data centers there. I don't know. I don't know what was said on that call. I haven't listened to it yet. I think that that's most interesting, like the land bridge, TPL, if they start lending out land again, or that whole theme comes to play again. I think there's something to it. TSEM, ISRG. So, yeah, I mean, this was in that list that I put together. I didn't do anything with this. That's an enormous, enormous move. And you haven't followed through today with it. So there's very little to say there. I mean, this used to be the cat's pajamas back in the day. Back in the day, you can say it like where it was. 95, this thing was $500. So I'm not saying you're getting there, but you can see coming through one of these quarters, they must have explained something. Looks like this one with all the volume. And here they said something. People were like, "Oh boy!" So they got involved, and since then they've just been absolutely crushing it. So I don't see any reason to think that that's going to change at all there. Yeah, this hit my little alert that I had up there yesterday, and I'm not really sure why that was where I had the alert versus there, but it must have been something. I don't remember why it was, but realistically, I would have liked to have done it here. This alert went off yesterday for me. I don't know why I didn't do it here. Um, I really should have looked at it here because I think that would have made way more sense. But there's something here that I must have had on a weekly chart, or there's something that I saw there. Oh, it must have been this level right here that I saw, and I went to set an alert for when it got back to there. I'd watch this, but it's definitely there. You oversold, you actually undercut and oversold, and then you held. It didn't have to do that. Earnings were fantastic, and you've done nothing but 1, 2, 3 break out from here on the week. With a 529 stop. I mean, you could motor here for a period of time for sure. And the stock certainly looks like it. That's what it wants to do. This thing was completely, utterly beaten down for a period of time, and no longer is. Oh, I hate cold coffee. I don't mind cold coffee when it starts cold, but when it's supposed to be hot and then it's cold, I have real issues. I like that, John. That's not John. That's Jacob. TSEM, I'd have to look into. Lilly, I actually like that it's bidding down. I might actually look at it again. It hit my level, and then this was definitely on the radar yesterday. And hopefully it's in there still. No, it wasn't. So it was definitely on the radar of names that I was interested in. So So it's been trading a ton of gold. Thanks, buddy. I didn't look. I didn't notice that. This is where all the cool kids are. Please hit the like button. What's up, Julian? I don't think I can do them all. I do want to do this. I would strongly suggest, if I could tell you guys like one thing that I've done better in the past quarter, is understanding that an algorithm cannot read a conference call, at least not yet, and neither can an AI, not yet. They are acting off these moves, and they are killing people because they're seeing a number, and then the number's bad, they're just killing it, and they're acting off of it, and then you're getting the movement later. So it's presenting huge opportunity if you know where to look. So I actually bought this in here. Trades up, I trimmed, pulled back, trimmed, bought more. And then I've been holding the majority of it into this call. And I would strongly suggest you listen to this conference call. I'm not going to get into it all because I don't have the time, but they have a sheet on their website. Let me see if I can find it because I may have put it up here fast. Yeah, here, let me just see if this works for you guys. I had this damn thing up and I don't know. Go to their website and you'll find it, but maybe I can just do it this way real quick because I have it on my screen. They're going to increase capacity like insanely. So they're out of capacity. They're literally out of capacity. They don't have anything more to sell. Like, I don't know what people want. You know, when I heard that, I'm like, okay, you know, so it's absolutely insane. And they'll sell it down or find a reason. And okay, this reminds me so much of like what I just went through with, SNDK when they sold it down to like 205 on Friday. And everyone's like, oh, that's it, it's done. I'm like, they just came out and said they're raising gross margins by, 35%, but sure, it's done. I'm going to go over that one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover all these, but let's go see what we got here. Maybe we can find some things here that make sense. I don't play these little guys that often, but yeah, I definitely won't go near this. It's just too thin. What else you got? AREC. Now, what else? AXTI. The volume's kicking up and there's more interest in that. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely pay attention to it. Out of all of them that you just went through, that's the most appealing. I'd want to know why it's doing what it's doing, but that's the most appealing of those three. Lemonade. I can do Lemonade real quick, but I think it's interesting because they were out there before talking about, they were back here talking about how AI was going to change things in their business. And everyone's like, whatever, boomers. And here we are. And they're changing things, aren't they? So yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So let's get this out, get this party started. Bro, I almost had to put the top up today. I almost had to put the top up on the car today. It was like 55. It's funny. I was just talking to a buddy about going to visit him in New York. And then I woke up this morning and I got like the little weather map. I saw it was like 31 up there. Like, yeah, probably not going up there. Fast, calm. The ASTS, I think we should cover. I don't, when you see these conference calls and then you see the stocks come down, I always laugh because it's not like they said that earnings were going to be freaking fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Like they didn't come out and say, oh, we're going to blow the cover off the ball. They're like, no, we're going to bleed from every orifice. We're launching rockets into the space. Like, I don't know. I always find it so fascinating. But I actually like that call. I actually thought that that company looks great. Calm, there's something going on there. Ooh, it's not working. No. Fast. I want to look at this one. No. AMPX. What's up, Aaron? I would have to know why, but no, buddy. That's not appealing to me. DVLT. Well, they better do something. No, I think that what you got to look at, bro, is like were Coreweave's earnings bad? But no, like what bothers people about Coreweave? If you're an institutional investor and they're like, we're taking our earnings down because thanks, John. We're taking our earnings down because these physical locations aren't built yet. Okay. All right, let's walk through that little suck salad. So you didn't know 3 months ago that the physical location wasn't going to be ready. You didn't know 6 weeks ago. You couldn't issue some kind of statement. Like, I don't think it's down on the earnings because of that. I think it's down with my dog ate my homework, right? Like, oh, I missed earnings because my dog ate my homework. Like, that's the kind of crap that someone that owns the company goes, I'm not dealing with this guy. I don't want to deal with this guy. And they look at it from a different perspective. They'll look at it from a managerial perspective. Like that's what I would do if I was running real money. I'd be like, I'm not dealing with this dude. Like, I don't trust him. I don't know where he's going with this. What do you mean you didn't know the physical locations weren't going to be ready? Like, don't you have a team of people that look at when these physical locations are going to be ready? And also the nonsense yesterday of we'll explain on the call why it's not working or why earnings are, our guidance on the call. Like, well, why? Why can't you just tell us the guidance? Like everything about it made you not like management. And I think that, Ian, has more to do with it than anything. The lack of managerial professionalism. If I could tell you what my problem was with it, that was my problem. I went long it when I saw it. When I read this, I'm like, no, this thing's going to go. Like they crushed. Like this, it's on. And then I'm like, oh, you front loaded everything to make it look good. And now you're going to tell us what the real problem is. Got it. And then as soon as I saw it, I got out. When they started with, oh, we're going to tell you later about guidance. Like, really? What's up, Tariq? Oh, thanks. I'm going to do more of those highlights, like those one sheets that you guys can just like rip. So you can say it. I'm actually going to do a website eventually. I think if you break 95, bro, like there's your put wall, and that's an enormous put wall that's there. So if you break that, you have an issue. NBIS we covered. I think it's a home run. I bought it. Like I read the call, I bought it. Like when it got down to my level, I have zero problem with it. Like zero. That whole space is though. $40 for a chimichanga, Kava's $72 for a burrito or an avocado. Yeah, I think that just keeps grinding down. I do. I think that keeps grinding down, bro. Went from San Francisco. Good morning. Yeah, I don't really care what Moshe's son says. I mean, he's the guy that invented, he got invited into what? WeWork? Didn't he do WeWork? So I'm probably not going to take advice from the WeWork guy, whether or not I should sell my NVIDIA. So, I got to start. Yay! I think all those treasuries, I'm sorry, I think first I give them money. I'll make sure I give the money away. It all goes to St. Jude's. So thank you. What do I think of it? I think they're all absolute unequivocal dumpster fires. All of them are just probably not what you want to hear, but they're all dumpster fires. They're all perma shorts. Like there's not one that you shouldn't short. The only one you probably really shouldn't short is MSTR because they have a real business. The idea of a Bitcoin treasury is probably the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. You can't go out and buy Bitcoin for yourself and put it on like a USB or cold storage, I'm so inept. I need them. I need to buy their worthless stock and exchange it for something that has worth, because I can't figure out how to do it myself. I feel like I'm doing like this I'm just a caveman commercials. So like it makes like these things are they're just so dumb, and they offer no value to anybody except like the faces. Like, Tom Lee will make a killing off of this. I'm sure he did. But the shareholders are just bleeding through every orifice. Like it makes no sense to do these investments. Like none. Oh, they'll just keep issuing shares and buying more. Really, let me know how that goes. So that's not what's going to happen here. The only one that actually made sense to me that I bought and then blew it out when it pulled back was these guys have some backing from the institutional side, like Citadel and those guys, Dan Loeb. And the reason was because it was trading at a discount to book value. And they came out and said, we're going to sell Ethereum and buy our own stock back because it's trading under book value. And this is stupid. That makes sense. When you buy these, you buy them when they break book value. That's the only time, like GBTC, they were the original treasury. Down here was trading 80 cents on the dollar. That's when you buy them. When they're trading at when the asset is trading at a discount to the NAV, that's when you do it. The only reason you do it with MSTR is because there's a multi-billion-dollar business here behind it, and they are the ones that are actually able to issue converts. BMNR is never going to be able to do a convert of any magnitude because there's no business. It's just a worthless stock. I mean, some guy literally went out there, found a symbol, said, we're going to turn it into a Bitcoin treasury. Come and buy it. Everybody bought it, and they were rich for like 2 days. And then people got smoked. So, yeah, I think they're all a bunch of garbage. I'm really surprised that they're even allowed to do this, because really what they're doing is just circumventing like ETF laws. Is really what they're doing. They'll all probably go away, and they'll all eventually trade at a discount to book value of the NAVs. I think the easiest way to make money off this stuff is to go and take a look at like go long Bitcoin and then short ASST. Like that's what I would do with it. You'll see like from when they started that stuff, like how that would have gone from the date that they like announced that, right, to here. So, I mean, what would you be up? 600% by going long Bitcoin and short ASST. You can do it with any of them. They're great. They're like beautiful pair trades, right? Bitcoin to here, same thing. It's no different. They're just all like kind of pigs. I'd have to measure this one out from where it was to when it happened. So this one, you're only up 179%. So, that's the trade. But to run out there and buy these things like, please take my money because I can't figure out how to buy Bitcoin myself. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not all for that. So Syndisk is a beast. I mean, I don't know what people want, but I get it. Maybe they're scared because it's up so much. They're scared of heights. I think that if you look at the XLV stuff, I think the XLV stuff looks great, right? This looks like it's ready to go. I mean, I was looking at that this weekend. What time is it? I'm gonna have to jump here, guys. I was looking at that this weekend and trying to figure out like what the play is. Is it Oscar? No. Is it that TEM? I don't know what we're gonna do without Nancy when she retires. We're not gonna know what to buy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go with it. CI, it's not like these things are lighting the world on fire, right? CNC, is it Humana? Like I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go through XLV and see what what we're doing. So give me a second here. It's a good thing to look at it because, right. Give me a second. I'll pull up the top holdings and we'll see if we can get something here. Find out what the heck's going on there. All right, Lilly. All right, so that's why. So Lilly, Johnson & Johnson. ABBV, UNH. I wouldn't be going near that until it stops. You got a big move out of it. I think that's it. TML. That's interesting. That's interesting. ISRG. That makes sense. Lilly, ISRG. So you're seeing some rotation there, so they're getting a little defensive, huh? Amgen had a great quarter, right? So, I mean, they're the ones that are really rocking that are in the XLF. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff there for sure. I really like Microsoft's holding that 500. Maybe the Macau plays. Is that what's going on there? I mean, that's about as pure Macau play as you can get. Something's going on there, and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't understand it, so I got out of the way. I actually bought more IREN today because I think that's going to be a monster. But I got out immediately because it didn't bounce when when NBIS bounced. It dropped when NBIS dropped, and then it didn't bounce when NBIS bounced. So it didn't make sense to me, so I got out of the way. Yeah, it's not sexy, Maria. It's not great. Light. I don't like charts that do this. I see the breakout, like it's beautiful, right? And then the push, and I just don't like these kinds of like milk toast moves. They don't make me comfortable. I don't know that it's heading down. Like for me, this would really be the day that I would be looking at it candidly, because I'm bidding down today. Like I like that names are bidding down today, if that makes sense. Oh, I use AI all the time. Like I'm all about them internets. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love it. It checks all my spelling. I use it for my newsletters. Like I use it for everything. Um, it can't pick up tone on a conference call, and so that's why I'll listen to them. I actually thought IONQ was really good, man. Like I really liked it. I thought it was a really good call. I think the way that they're going about it. I think the new CFO. Pardon me. I think the new CFO. I need more caffeine, man. Did a good job. I'll be right back. I think the new CFO did a great job on that call. And I think what they're doing, like their diversification of earnings, or the diversification of revenue, like if you're in that one and you haven't listened to the call, like that's the one that I would be paying attention to out of all of them. That was the one I liked the most. And I don't really like the names. Like I think RGTI is a pig. I'm shorted. I'm short RGTI through this. So if you've been watching the videos, I've been shorting this thing and talking about it since about 260. And it's only 100 points, but whatever. What do I know? I'm just a caveman. Remember those commercials? Anyway, so I like the revenue stream. I thought it was fascinating what they were doing with the revenue stream throughout quantum. Maybe this stuff's ahead of itself. That's where my head is with the Monaco. Oh, it's a pig, dude. It's going to, that thing's a zero. Well, I don't know that though, dude. Like, you have the whole dollar exchange, right? So AT&T is really benefits from this trade, man. So like if the dollar is plummeting, right? When the dollar plummets, man, they travel just like the US travels. Like when our dollar's worth more, we're out there. Like when the yuan, is going great against the dollar, they're traveling because like, this is what they're getting roughly. I mean, you're getting 12% more for your money. So they travel. Well, it's crazy, right? Oh, we didn't know they weren't going to be done. Like, dude, you don't have somebody that goes over there and takes a look at like how the facility. Hey, Bob, can you swing by the facility and see how things are going? Yeah, sure, Hank. Like, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. You guys keep hitting me with this one, and I'm not knocking it. I don't know it, and I don't know the story, and I know they're whacking it around in the community, but I don't know it. I mean, it's a super simple trade now at this point, right? I mean, you close below there, you're crazy to hold it, but there it is, man. I mean, it doesn't get, and then your measured move from there would be the top of this, not this, because you haven't confirmed that yet. So your measured move is going to be like 22 and a half. There's a link on the welcome letter, Jim. If you can't do that, hold on. For those that are asking, I'm going to put this out there. At the bottom, when this is done, there'll be the concierge email, concierge@thealphachasers.com, and he will send you a link. It'll be at the bottom of that. Did he close? He had a pair trade on. Kate Stockton's a beast, dude. She's a beast. Is BNMR below it? Is it? Yeah, I'm going to call nonsense on that. I'm calling nonsense. If they have it in the room, post it. Good morning from the attic. Good morning from Miami. The 50-year mortgage makes a lot of sense for people. I don't know why people can't figure this out. If you got a 50-year mortgage, right? You get a 50-year mortgage, and then you make payments on it. People are like, oh, you only save $500 or $300, right? If you make payments as if it's a 30-year mortgage, you'll be paying it off in 26 and a half years instead of 30 if you made the same payment as a 30-year mortgage, right? And you save like on every $500,000, you save like $60,000, I think is what the number is, in interest. Just make the same payment. It's a 50-year mortgage, and you make the payment like it's a 30-year mortgage. And you'll save yourself 3.5 years of interest payments. And you'll cut down like 60 grand in interest. And it gives you the flexibility if you got stuck to not have to worry about the bigger payment. It makes perfect sense to me. MU's a beast, nothing to say. Bro, he's a nightmare. Nightmare. I'm getting out in the video, but that we work. So I don't know. They'll tell me in the room. They'll be all over me because they get mad when I harass them over their silly little trades. All right, I got to go. Trade to win today.